Hi folks, thank you for joining me again. My name is Nick, we're on the Commodore 64 and we're looking at a game called AUTOMANIA, published by Mikro Gen in 1987. Basically you control a, well, unfit lager lout called Wally Weak, and he must assemble cars in his showroom while avoiding being crushed, because this garage is not the safest place in the world to be at. So we'll turn the music off, because it does get a bit annoying after a while. We might turn it back on a bit later on. It's set over 2 screens. It also come out on the ZX Spectrum as I choose my keys. I quite liked it on the ZX Spectrum, and I reckon this is going to play roughly the same. So here's Wally Weak. There's the 2 rooms there. You can see the car at the top. So everything in light blue are parts of the car, and if you don't jump over stuff properly, you lose a life. So I can't jump over those 2 at the same time. So let's go out and back in again. Right, so you got it. So collect all the blue bits. Now once you have assembled the car, which I doubt I'll be able to do here because I know no cheats, then you go on to a more complicated car and it's more dangerous garage. So let's get this panel here. Wally Weak. There are a series of Wally Weak games. I'm not sure if all of them come out on the Commodore 64. I know Everyone's a Wally did, and Pajama Rama. I'm not sure about 3 Weeks in Paradise. Right. So you have to be quite precise with the jumping here. So jump just as you're almost about overlapping the enemy thing. This tire's bouncing backward and forward. So jump over that. Right. Now, can we assemble at least a bit of the car? This is either a Renault 4 or a Citroen, oh dear, Citroen 5. No, Citroen something or other. Renault 4 or a Citroen something. You know what I mean, don't you? Do you? Maybe. Right. So I just want to get at least one part onto this car, and then I'll say this is a success, unlike that sentence. Did you have this game back in the day? Let me know. I think it may have been bigger on the ZX Spectrum than the Commodore 64, but what do I know? Colours are less bright on the Commodore 64 than the Spectrum, but you know, they've got a bigger range, a little bit more earthy. It plays, to be honest with you, exactly the same. So if you played it on the Spectrum, the Commodore 64 is going to be not a different experience at all. Maybe ever so slightly. Right, so this garage may get closed down soon because of the health and safety ness, but if it was a safe garage, the game wouldn't be that much fun. Mikro Gen 1987. Right, come on. Now, I don't know if this came out on the Amstrad CPC. I presume it did. Would have been a bit of a big hit. Herbert's Dummy Run was another one in this series, but I don't know if that came out on the Commodore 64. If you do know that, then let me know and I'll add it to the list to review. But we'll certainly have a look at Everyone's a Wally, that is for sure. So I've got one bit of the car done. Can we get a second bit? We need to jump over all these obstacles you see. If we bump into any of those, we will drop down and lose a life. Quite a basic game, but a little bit addictive as well. Slightly annoying with the music on, which I'll maybe turn on our next go, if there is a next go. Can't jump over 2 things next to each other, because Wally can't jump that far because of his years of beer drinking. Right, okay, that's the Laurel and Hardy music, isn't it? Right, come on now, let's get another bit of this car. Oh, see, like pixel the end. So by the merest of pixels, you need to jump perfectly, or it's game over, boys. Right, okay. Put the music back on. Apology if this music's going to get annoying, because it might do, but this is the full game experience, the game and the music. It does add a bit with music, it's a bit nothing without that. Right, come on now, we know what to do. The time for messing about is over. Whenever I see this Wally Weak, I think I need a drink. I don't know what it is. Probably because he drinks 4 pints at lunchtime, 1 pint for breakfast and 6 pints in the evening before work the next day. Right, okay, they certainly don't make them like this anymore. But I'm finding it a little bit easier now. Let's get this bit of the car on. It seems to be easier to put the bit of the car on than the Spectrum version. The Spectrum version involves a little bit of walking backward and forward. Once you've assembled the car, it will lower down and the car will drive off, and then it's time for the next one. I think there's about 10 cars maybe to construct. They get more and more elaborate, more expensive, finishing off with probably a Rolls Royce or a super sports car or something. Right, piece 2 of the car. I don't think Wally's going to make too much as a mechanic here. Blah 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 blah. Right, wait here. That purple thing is bad news. Whatever that purple thing is, I don't know what it is at all. I mean, Laurel and Hardy music is probably very apt for this. Boom. Right, you do get used to the jumping quite quickly. Yeah, let's go out and in again. That wasn't a timing I could possibly do. The merest of touches with anything. Oh, look at that. And now I've got to go all the way back up again and get it. It's a little bit frustrating, this one. I did play it a little bit as a kid. Did I? I can't remember. I might have blocked it out of my mind. The one I played the most was Everyone's a Wally. On the B side of that, you got a great song. I presume you got that on the Commodore 64 version as well. I have to queue that up to play that at some point. Come on, Wally. You can do it. 2 bits of the car. Oh, man. I could have gone for it then. You see the time ticking up on the top left. So if you dawdle around and that runs out, you will lose your life anyway. So you can't stop and admire the scenery of what there is of it. Both worst garage ever. Oh man, right, we can do this time. The things falling from the sky are at random intervals. Okay, so that's next bit of the car. So we've got the back wheel on. That's almost good enough to drive away, isn't it? Oh, that was close. Once you have got one part of the car on, the timer will start again, the yellow bar. The car parts are now getting slightly more difficult to get. It's involving a bit of jumping on moving ledges. So we need to get over here, then jump again maybe. Looks like another... That's a wheel. This looks like a bit of a tricky timing. Yes. Right, so 3rd bit of the car on its way to the showroom. Whoops. Come on, Wally. Wally week. And it is a Wally week, I can tell you that much for now. Boof. Right, 3 bits of the car. This is like the dream scenario. That purple thing on the left looks like it's about to go. Here we go. Up we go. 3rd bit of the car. There we go. The wheel's on and I've fallen off the platform. I didn't expect that to happen. Right, so 3 bits of the car left and then we're good to drive away. If we can do that. It's the promised land. We need to get over the other side now. Oh, Nick! So you lose your concentration and it's game over the end. Ugh. Shall we have one more go at this? I'm not so sure. Nick, N-I-C-K. Turning the music off. Right, last go, last go. That's the wrong timing, we can't do that. Reset it, good. Boof, right. So this is going to be, I'm trying to do this as quickly as I can now, which probably means everything's going to go wrong. Side panel got. Don't fall down here. Jump, 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 jump. Right, boof. Do that. That purple thing is not moving anymore. So just need to jump over one tyre. Here it comes. I think we should be okay. Bam. That should be okay as well. There we go. I don't know why you'd use the other ladder. Maybe I should have done that last time. Maybe you can't get to the car unless you use both ladders. So, 1 piece of the car done. We've got 3 pieces before. I think that's probably my limit on this. But you never know. Some amazing piece of skill might happen, mightn't it? Maybe. Possibly. We know it won't do. I've still got the Laurel and Hardy music playing in my brain, although it's not playing actually in the game at all. I don't know if that's happening for you as well. Liar's in the top right. You've probably clocked that already. So, we're off and running. If you've completed this game, all 10 cars, then let me know, because that's pretty flash to do. You must have silky skills. Oh, look. Come on, sort yourself out down there. Right, perfect timing. The yellow bar's getting a little bit low now. You can imagine when you go just to the other side of the screen to get those other bits, the time's going to run out quickly, and the green thing going down the ladder's not great. I had no chance there. And now I've got to go up all the way and get it again and get it. I had no chance there. So if the timing doesn't look good, go off the screen and go back on again, because it will reset. Sometimes it'll random up impossibleness. Bim. I do like those high-pitched sounds sometimes the Commodore 64 does. It's most noticeable in Boulder Dash, which we reviewed a couple of weeks ago. Those high-pitched sounds are really pleasant to the ear. The good old SID chip. Spectrum had a bleeper, so although it could do high sounds, it didn't do the smoothness of those. Get this on, that's on. Right, so the rear wheel is on again. Just wait for these, whatever they are, to fall down. Some sort of, I don't know what they are. Some bit of a car. Propeller something. The propeller of the car. That bit. Away we go. Jump. Right, okay, so we got to almost this bit. Well, we got past this bit last time. We need to get that wheel. So we need to jump over that can, not fall down, and then do another jump. So it's quite tricky. Jump, jump. That's that one got. And now back across the other way. And don't do that. And Wally's broke both legs there. So we'd certainly need a couple of weeks off work. I don't know who else works at this garage. No one. It's just Wally. Oh, look at that. He could be lying there for weeks. Wally weeks. Well, I hope you liked having a look at that one. That game was okay, but nothing special. But it did start off the Wally series. So overall, I like it despite its frailties. So I hope you liked having a look at that one. That was AUTOMANIA on the Commodore 64, published by Mikro Gen in 1987. If you've got any comments about that one or similar games, then please put them below. You're more than welcome. If you want to help a bit more, there's patreon.com/njenkin. Every bit really does help. Until next time, take great care of yourself and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.